What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm starting a new little series which I'm doing on live streams called Horror Hall of Fame. This is pretty much going to be a series where I'll bring a guest on and I'll talk with them about a movie which has gotten them into horror, or is one of their favorite movies, or they believe has changed the genre for the best. Maybe at some point I'll do the inverse of this, which will be like films which have ruined the genre, but we're going to talk about something great today because we're talking about stream, and I have a great guest coming on today. I have Destin from Destination Station, so welcome to the stream.
What's up, buddy? Thank you for having me, man. If we're going to talk about Scream, you know I'm going to be here.
Yeah. So, why do you like Scream? What, in your opinion, makes it so great?
Oh, man. I have a whole list of things of reason why. I think it, honestly, with me already being such a young, horror fan, and I knew Nightmare on Elm Street was, my jam growing up, Wes Craven and everything. And then, Scream came out, and it hit me right at the right age. I remember seeing it in theaters. I remember seeing it before it came out, and it was just so fresh. And then with it also, dabbling its toes into, other horror movies and horror movie tropes, and it pretty much redefined horror, slashers at least, at that time. It revitalized it, because a lot of slashers were horror was fizzling out a little bit, and Wes Craven, made something, and Kevin Williamson, they both made something really fresh that became a little bit more mainstream, I guess, for your main audience, because a lot of horror, it's very subjective, but it's it could be like a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, because it could be too gruesome, it could just be too dark or something, and I completely get that. It's not for everybody, but Scream brought in a sense of fun into the horror genre. It was being meta, but at the same time taking itself seriously. Especially that first movie that was just it just balanced comedy and horror and suspense so well, and also had really likable characters. It had, I don't know if there was any character that you really just did not like in the first Scream movie. Everybody was just perfectly cast. And a lot of that was that they added a bunch of comedic actors, and I think that added to the whole movie. Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard, David Arquette. It wasn't being too over the top goofy. In my opinion, it was the perfect balance, and I feel like it's the gateway horror movie to today's standards. If you want to, because it kind of touches on Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th. It talks a little bit about all that stuff right in the first 10 minutes of the movie. And it's interesting. It's fun. It's a killer that's wanting to play a game, and if you get the answer wrong, you die, it's really fun. And I really think that was the fun angle with Jigsaw, you want to play a game. There's something about playing a game in a horror movie that our killer does to the victims that just brings a sense of fun and just excitement to the whole thing. But there's other movies that have redefined horror throughout the years. Psycho being a big one. I really think that was the perfect whodunit. That I wish I could have seen that movie for the first time in cinemas, that.
Yeah.
I bet you that was some sort of experience, and that's how Scream was. It was just a lot of. It wasn't just a killer in a mask, just going around killing people. It had Ghostface has personality. Most killers don't. Most killers are like a Terminator, like Michael Myers or Jason. And that's the same thing with Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven gives his characters, his killers, character. And I think that brings it up just a notch, I mean, it had clever writing, social commentary on the horror genre and even violence at that time. Uh, and it was just another one that just like revitalized Raven's career. It's just
Yeah.
so many other movies right after that that tried to mimic it in some way, shape, or form. A lot of them failed. There was a couple of successors, and they have their own flavor, but they're not Scream. And I don't think anybody will ever
Yeah.
reach that greatness of that first movie as a slasher, when you're trying to do it in this way. So yeah, Scream is my all-time favorite movie. I always say it's like a toss-up between it and Nightmare on Elm Street, but something about Scream that it's got great pacing as well. Like the directing is just perfect. The editing, the score, like even the soundtrack has character. It's really
Yeah.
great, So yeah, Scream is just one of those movies. Like I just watched it the other night. I just introduced it to somebody.
Yeah.
Never seen it. They heard of it, but they've never seen it. And I'm just like, well, let's watch it. Like, and they were just like, their jaws were just dropped in so many moments. Like it was really cool to see that experience on people, to see those surprise moments. That's kind of like it's good stuff. I was gonna say good. I was gonna use the S word, but I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on this channel. So
Yeah, you're perfectly allowed to swear. I do it sometimes on the channel as well. It's fine. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Scream is one of those like all-time like perfect movies. It's got the comedy, the horror, and just some amazing writing, and it's also just a great whodunit. Similar to you, I also watched it recently, about like 2 weeks ago, because my dad wanted to spend time with me, so he asked me to watch Scream with him because he'd never seen it and he knew that I liked it. And he's not into horror, so it was great because he actually enjoyed it. And that's what I like about Scream. It's a movie where you don't need to be a horror fan to like it.
right. It's like a good gateway horror movie if you're wanting to like
Yeah.
start somewhere. Like I mean, there's other movies. I mean, it's all subjective because some people they veer more towards like the supernatural or demonic stuff. Poltergeist was like a good entry for that type of subgenre. Movie back in the day, but like for slashers and horror, I think Scream is it's a near. I think it's a perfect movie. I think it's like a perfect movie. I don't know pretty much anything in it that I could be like, they shouldn't have had that in there. The only thing that I can think of that they shouldn't have had in there is that the image of whenever Sydney and Tatum are in the grocery store and they're shopping for Stu's party, and you see Ghostface like in the store kind of stalking her, and then I think like earlier in the scene there he was like in the bushes or in the woods right outside of Tatum's house. Stuff like that. Like I'm kind of like, that's too much on the nose, but for its time it was fine. I didn't find a problem with it back then. Just now it's kind of like, how is he in broad daylight in a store like that, And so if it was made to today, I would have been like, they should have taken that out. But it also, another way that can justify it is there's a lot of people doing pranks on Sydney, so it could have been just, it might have not have been our killer at that moment. It could have just been people messing around with her,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a perfect movie.
I mean,
with or without it.
I saw a thing recently where it said like Roman was the other person who was there because, of course, Billy was probably off doing something else, and Stu was probably at his house already setting up his party.
Yeah, Roman. Yeah, he could have been there keeping an eye on everything. It would have been cool in that Scream 3 movie if we would have seen that he had cameras set up in Scream 1, like watching Sydney from afar. Like that would have been cool. In those scenes, being like watching her walk into school, watch her just hanging out on the phone at her house, and being like, dang, he's been watching her the entire time.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
I mean, You also said earlier that like this movie is a great gateway horror, and that there are other movies that tried to sort of parrot off of Scream's success, and only a few worked. Um, I definitely think that was kind of for the better, because Scream sort of moved horror in a direction away from like where it was at the moment, which wasn't exactly the best, and then it became good again. Then it sort of got bad again. Then it came back again.
Yeah.
But Scream definitely revitalized the genre for a good 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it's still going to do that. I think Scream 7 is going to be something really special, especially now that we're got the Wayans brothers coming back to do the new Scary Movie.
Yeah.
And then they even showed that like promotional image of Marlon Wayans and the Ghostface killer from from Scary Movie. I'm like, okay, so they're gonna bring that character back in some way. So maybe Scream is still gonna be like the main. They're still gonna like dabble into other scary movies, but Scream, it's gonna be like a sequel to that first Scary Movie. So it's still, and then that's gonna revitalize stuff.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I don't want to get to the. I just made a video about, are we starting to feel like Scream fatigue, because now they're saying that Scream 8 is in development. It's rumored, but
Yeah.
they're saying, so like, is this going to be a new trilogy? Are they going to still do the Kirby spin-off series for Paramount Plus? Are we about to just be bombarded, and then with Scary Movie right alongside of it, with the Ghostface killer and that being goofy and stuff? I'm okay with it. Give me as much as, I mean, it feels like Christmas to me.
Yeah.
So you give me all of it as long as it's good. I just don't want them to really jump the shark and give us too much to where it's not quality. So I think Scream 7 is going to be quality. It's just if Scream 8 and Scream 9 come out right behind each other, and we get all these like different directors, like if Kevin Williamson stays in the director's chair, if we keep the same director, maybe we can keep the same quality. But like when you start throwing different directors in that director's chair, that's when movies just don't vibe right.
Yeah.
And 5 and 6 was good. They kept the same directors, and they didn't go too far off script. So, but that doesn't mean that other ones won't. So I'm just worried that, especially with the Kirby spin-off series, if they are really going to do that, and if they are got a new plan for a new like trilogy right now, I'm just worried that the Scream fatigue is going to come in, and then we're just going to have so many cooks in the kitchen that it's just going to be like a lot of this is filler. A lot of this is just like wasted potential. Like I just don't want to get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things which I can agree with, but I've seen a lot of people like online, Twitter mainly, I must say, saying like Scream is becoming like the Fast and Furious of horror, ones that have so many entries now. And it's like, I feel like a lot of these people don't know horror, because Halloween has like 13 movies.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th has like 9. Nightmare on Elm Street has 9.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Friday has 11 actually.
And
Like
remake.
it's not in fact it's not weird for horror movies to have like hundreds of sequels pretty much, and Scream doesn't even have like over 10 yet, whereas all these other franchises do. Scream has only just recently come back. Let it keep getting movies. Like, I don't want it to go away for like the next 10 years again.
And it keeps the same characters. It's a continuity of the story, and keeping its
Yeah.
main legacy characters at the forefront. That's what is really good about it. A lot of these like Halloween and Friday the 13th, as much as they're good, those are franchises that too many directors have just had their spin on something, and some of them just, it's just kind of like, I probably won't, this won't be my first Halloween movie to watch. But every Scream movie has
Yeah.
been quality, and it's because it's kept that continuity. But the thing that Scream has over those movies is the meta angle, is that social commentary on horror, so it can adapt. It can, along the way with whatever's going on, it can adapt along the way and just keep it fresh. And it's not just one killer. Anybody can be a Ghostface. So, and it's got that whodunit element, That's another fun angle. I'm a sucker for whodunit. You know, even if they're
Yeah.
bad, I find some sort of enjoyment in them. You know, so I mean, I don't know. There's just so many different things that the Scream movie offers to its audience that other horror franchises can't. You know, they're stuck in
Yeah,
a bubble, and they have to try to get fresh, and they take the risk more once they do something fresh. Just like a Halloween Ends, you can lose your
yeah,
you can lose your target audience and your fan base. Scream, if they took an angle like they try to do something fresh, like we applaud it pretty much, you know.
yeah,
So and you say Fast and the Furious, I did feel a sense of that in Scream 6 a little bit, how it got kind of
yeah.
like actiony near the end, like them running at each other, like Detective Bailey and Sam, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I agree. Six has a lot of issues. I was actually talking with someone else today earlier about it. Um, Scream 6, in my opinion, it took zero risks, and that's another reason why I love the original. It takes risks. Scream 6, literally, no one important dies. They only kill off the side characters that they introduced in that movie. And the whole trailer, you know, and even in like interviews and stuff, it was like, this movie's going to be different, you know, it's going to take risks and have more stakes. And then, like, it was like marketed, and you know, it looked like Mindy was going to die, it looked like Elle was going to die. Both of those characters survived. Chance and Tespins are probably mincemeat right now, but somehow he's coming back for Scream 7. You know, he lived
Yeah.
as well. So that's why I'm kind of hoping for 7 as well, that it takes more risks.
Yeah, me too, and I hope it does. Now, I hope Scary Movie takes a. I see what Sippin' Ice is saying. Scary Movie 6 having Melissa. That would be great. I know that there's rumors of
Yeah.
that. That would be awesome. And if she plays like a Sydney character or something like that, like that would be really funny. Um, but I think they need to have a scene about the whole Chad situation. You know, in Scary
Yeah,
Movie,
yeah.
stabbing it like
Instead of just stabbing him, they should get like a chainsaw or something and literally chainsaw him in half, like Terrifier style. But he still lives and he still comes back in the next scene.
yeah, like he gets his like head chopped off and he puts it back on, or you
Yeah,
know, like overkill him, but he still survives. You know, thumbs
yeah,
up.
kind of like in the original with what was her name, Buffy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, man, I think that Scream is in good hands right now, like with Kevin Williamson in the director's chair. Now, have you ever seen um, Teaching Mrs. Tingle?
No, I have not.
He directed and wrote that. It's on Amazon Prime right now. I'm going to be doing a video on that. I'd like to do a live watch party on it because I want to remember how he actually direct. He could definitely write. He could definitely
Yeah,
write. But when they were making Scream, the original, he used to not criticize. That's a harsh word. He used to tell Wes Craven, man, it's too gory. It's too much blood. Like that's not. And he's like, this is what you got to do. Like you got Stu and Billy cutting each other in the kitchen. It's going to be bloody. And he's just like,
yeah,
So that's one thing that I'm worried about with Scream 7. Scream 5 and 6 was pretty violent. It was pretty violent for the
yeah,
most part. Scream 7, with him being the director's chair, I wonder if he's going to hold back with the blood and the kills. As far as showing us, you know, we'll still get stabs, but is it going to be off screen? Are we not going to see the stab? Is there not going to be a lot of blood or anything like that? I just wonder if he's going to scale back in that sense. And I mean, that's fine as
yeah,
long as the quality of the story and everything is good, you know. I would much prefer. I feel like here's one thing that I always say, especially about my slasher movies, any horror movie really. A horror movie is only as good as its suspense, and if the suspense is right,
yeah,
if that intrigue and that suspense, you're on the edge of your seat and you don't know what's about to happen, that's more effective than a gory, gruesome kill, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's cool to have like
Yeah.
cool kills and stuff like that, but you gotta have some of that suspense. You gotta have that build up and tension before, you know, someone gets knifed.
Yeah, agreed. What's up, Gene? Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Gene.
How's it going, Davey? Welcome.
Davey, what's up, buddy? Great channel. Davey's got a great channel.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, I also agree with you. Every horror movie is good, like how suspenseful it is. But when you said earlier about like Kevin Williamson not really liking the violence and stuff, that reminded me of something which I saw like Matthew Lillard saying when he watched Scream 6. He said it was too violent.
Yes, he did.
So, you know, this is me like grasping at a thread that maybe he's hinting at something. Please.
You know, yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed that, you know, like I think that, you know, it's Kevin Williamson's original idea to bring back Stu, you know. Now that he's actually got his hands on it, and Guy Busick is also a fan of bringing Stu in, I think it's more likely now than ever. You know, like I think, especially with like Matthew Lillard coming back in Five Nights at Freddy's, and they got a second one. I think, did they just wrap filming on it? I know it's in the works.
I think they just finished filming on it. I'm unsure.
Yeah, and he's returning for that. And I just think that he's just he's testing the waters into that horror genre, and I feel like, okay, I think this is like the sweet spot. This now is the time to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be where Stu is revealed as the mastermind, and then we get 15, 20 minutes of him, and then he's dead.
Yeah, no. I don't want that either.
Yeah.
What's up, Jamie? How's it going?
Hey, Jamie, how you doing, girl? That's my buddy. Yeah, I don't want to just like be teased with Stu and then he's gone. Like with them saying that, you know, it's rumored that Scream 8 is in the works, it doesn't surprise me because I really think that the way that they need to do this is kind of bring Kevin Williamson's idea to life whenever he made that show The Following, Kevin Bacon. The original idea for Scream 3 was Stu Macher to come back, and then he was going to be running from behind the jail, behind the prison, a cult of ghost faces, pretty much. And that's kind of what The Following is, without the ghost face angle. And if he brought a little bit of that, I don't want them to copy and paste that idea, but they could definitely play with that and kind of build onto it. So if they do bring back Stu Macher in Scream 7, the way I would want that to play out is I want 2 killers to be revealed, and then that third one come out and it's Stu Macher, and there's a big showdown with Stu and Sydney, but Stu doesn't get killed. He wants to be caught. He wants to be, like all the cop cars pull up, you see the lights, he throws down the knife, he wants the publicity because Billy always got it. Now this is his time to shine, and that's the end of the movie. That's the cliffhanger, is he gets arrested and you just hear all the media buzz just saying, you know, like, Stu Macher is alive, blah, 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 you know, whatever, and then like it just cuts to black and that's it. And kind of like, I thought they were going to do that in Scream 4 with Jill. You know, when she was on the gurney and like rolling into the hospital and all the publicity was around her and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was just going to cut off there.
Yeah.
But then we got that after scene and kind of do something in that approach, you know, like with Stu. And it's just like, oh, okay, so everyone knows, which the Scream franchise isn't about cliffhangers. They never have been.
Yeah.
To keep things fresh, they could do it. They could.
Agreed. I'd like to see that, but if not, if they don't do that, I'd say maybe end it with him getting away, and just like then in Scream 8, you know that he's somewhere like in the background, and
Oh,
like
still being like a puppeteer.
yeah, and but you'd know it this time. You wouldn't like have the reveal. That's what I kind of like want if they do ever bring a Stu back. You need to know that he's there, just because if not, and it's just like 15 minutes so he dies, it would just be such a waste. I mean that was kind of my feel with Five Nights at Freddy's. It was just a waste of Matthew Lillard in my opinion because he was just there for a little while. He's there for a little while again, then he dies. That's it.
Yeah, did he survive in Five Nights, or did he die?
He dies, but in the lore, which I sadly know a lot about, he comes back.
Yeah, I think there was an after credit scene. It showed him like moving around or doing something, right?
I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that movie in like a year. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it too, like once. It wasn't really my thing, but
Yeah.
I think there was an after credit scene of just showing him like still alive or something. So yeah, I kind of like that idea too, man. Instead of him getting arrested, he kind of gets away, and he still does like these phone calls with Sydney in 8 and 9 or however long they decide to do it. He could become, now I wouldn't say like the Jigsaw, but like he could be the face, like I'm still out there.
Yeah, and he's
And I
still
still got,
taunting them about it.
yeah, that would be cool, man. I like that. That's super awesome.
Yeah, I mean, but well, we did speak earlier about like how like Scream changed the genre like for the better. What do you think are like some of the best like movies that came from Scream's success?
Oh man, honestly, I think one. I mean, I know what you did last summer, definitely, but I'm more of a fan of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer,
Yeah,
like just because of it like the kills are higher. It's a
yeah,
different type of setting. I had a huge crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt, but just it just like it like upped it in every different way, and it brought in that whodunit element that I thought the first movie was lacking. The first one I was expecting a whodunit, but it really just didn't deliver on that front. But the second one did, and it kind of caught me off guard when I first watched it. And so yeah, definitely I Know What We Did Last Summer, but I would have to say Urban Legend.
yeah,
First Urban Legend, man. It was another one of those movies that I was like, oh, it gave me that feel. It was cool. It was fresh. Yeah, killing people on Urban Legends had the whodunit, had a cool killer, had cool kills. You had Robert Englund as a professor in there. Um, it was just a
yeah,
really well whodunit killer. The characters are great, like great actors. You got a
yeah,
young Jared Leto in there. I mean, it was just great. Now I can't say that for the rest of the sequels, but that first Urban Legend, I would say, is another one of my go-to whodunit slasher movies. So
yeah.
that's another one that I want to see
I agree.
revitalized.
I agree. I agree with you about the sequels as well. Is the second one a continuation of the first one? I know the third one has like nothing to do with it, right?
Right, yeah. The second one does tie in loosely at the very end, and it's kind of a joke. It's kind of jokey how they tied in, but I mean, it's fine. Um, Two had a lot of potential. I just remember it kind of got too. I mean, it had great actors in it too, and it had a great final girl. Cool looking mask. I think that's one thing that they should have done was possibly keep the same outfit from the first movie.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't think the second outfit was that bad, but I thought it was a really cool premise, like film students, like it's right down my alley. But something about it, like I just couldn't connect with a lot of the characters, and the way the movie was edited, I felt like we were all over the place. And then there was characters I forgot about, and then they tried to make you feel like they're important, and I'm like, who is this again? I can't remember, like um and it seemed like it was just too many ideas, but I don't know, like I feel like let's if they're gonna bring it back, just do a direct sequel to the first one and keep that same
yeah.
costume. I like the what is it the winter coat and the axe. I thought that was awesome. So
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't a horror fan, that would probably be like a franchise that scared me because I'm currently a film student, so that would probably scare me because if there was a murderer going around at like a film college, I'd be terrified.
yeah, yeah, it definitely should have been like one of those. I mean, streaming wasn't a thing at that time, but it should have been. It would have been an okay sequel if it was like straight to streaming or something like that. You know, like
Yeah,
it didn't have that same feel as that first movie. So so yeah, I mean, it's like Jamie says, it's meh, it's watchable. Yeah,
yeah,
and also another thing, one thing I hate, I absolutely cannot stand. I think it's a cop out. Is throwing in twin brothers and twin sisters. Now, with Scream 5 and Scream 6, with it being brother and sister, but if they're
yeah,
identical twins, like the way they did it in Urban Legend 2, I just didn't like. You know, I was like, this is kind of a. I don't know what they were doing. I don't even know if they
yeah,
knew what they were doing. So, but it did have a really cool kill. That one with the waking up in the ice bath and her kidneys removed and trying to climb out that window, and he pulls her in and she grabs a hold of that window and breaks it, and he just slams it down on her head. That was dope.
yeah.
That was
I've
awesome.
seen a lot of kills, not exactly similar to that, but that's for some reason reminded me of this kill which I saw. Have you seen the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night? I watched it the other day because I'm reviewing them currently.
It's been since it came out a long time ago. I remember renting it. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, well, there's one kill where the killer is like with this girl in a room, and she's running away, and he throws his axe, slits her Achilles tendon, and then like grabs her and shoves her onto the like antlers. I don't know why it's reminded me of that, but it was just a cool kill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I like really cool kills. Um, really inventive, like quick and like quick little deaths or whatever. If they're like really unique. But if they get like too gory or something like that, it kind of takes me out. I'm kind of like, all right, this is just it. It almost feels distasteful and not cool. It's not cool to me, which is gore.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I say that, but I kind of like Terrifier a little bit, but it's its own flavor.
yeah. I,
You know,
I, I love Terrifier. Just off camera here, I literally have like a bit of
I,
artwork that this guy did of Art the Clown.
yeah, I'll forgive it for that. But like, if it's like I don't want to see Ghostface or you know, Michael Myers doing some Arthur Clown shit. Like
Yeah, agreed.
it's gonna take me out of it. So yeah, I like really cool, clean, and quick kills. Now there is a movie. I do need to rewatch that remake of Silent Hill. I mean Silent Hill, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Um,
Yeah,
there is another slasher movie that's got really cool kills. It's got a good twist to it, and it did not get the recognition that it deserves. And The Hills Run Red. If you've never seen that movie, really good cast. It came out in like mid 2000s, and it was definitely should have been theater quality. I was like, this is a
yeah,
really good slasher movie, well directed. It looks clean, cool killer, just cool. It's just a really cool premise, and where the climax goes, I'm just like, man, this is my jam. Like I like this. Um, and it had just really cool kills too. So there was like so many
yeah,
movies that just like Scream just I mean like think about like all of those like straight to DVD movies that were felt like Scream-esque. There was a movie with Molly Ringwald. She was the lead, and I felt like it was called like Final Cut or something like that. And it was absolutely a ripoff of Scream.
yeah,
Like it was crazy how much of a ripoff of Scream it was. I mean, I think they knew what they were doing with it, so I'll forgive it, but it just wasn't that good of a movie. And it just shows that like once Scream came out, everybody was trying to make like a Scream knockoff, you know, and I mean, it completely for my lifetime, it's completely redefined horror more than any other horror franchise that I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's that for all horror, because Psycho was one, Nightmare on Elm Street was one, Scream is another. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Halloween. Halloween, had its thing, had its run.
Yeah, you can add Black Christmas to that too. That was like the first slasher movie, pretty much.
Yep. It's just, I don't know. And Scream is still one of those movies, like, we're going on our 7th installment, and we still got the same characters, and it's still all continuity. You can't really say that in a lot of genre, and a lot of franchises,
No.
So, I think that's it. I think that's why it's, what am I trying to say? It's standing the test of time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember who. I think it was on one of your streams, but I think like someone said that, like, besides from, I guess, the haircuts and the clothes, Scream you could literally say it was made at any point in time,
Mhm.
and they'd probably like believe it as well. It's just a great timeless movie.
Yeah, yeah. Other than all the house phones and all that kind of stuff, yeah. It's one of those movies that just doesn't feel like it's aged, really. I don't think it feels like it's aged at all. I feel like it was ahead of its time. And think about, like, all the content we get on streaming services now with all these, like, mysteries and whodunits and stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
just like, where the hell was all this stuff when I was growing up? Like, like I felt like everybody I talked to about Scream and, like, whodunits and mysteries and stuff like that, like, everybody was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like they just didn't vibe with it really. But now with streaming services, we're like oversaturated with content, and there's so much good storytelling out there, and I don't know. Like, I feel like now is the time that Scream can really shine. I think the numbers are showing that. Like, it's like, oh, so now everybody that is fans of this type of meta stuff and whodunits, they're like, oh, what's this Scream movie? Like, with a younger and newer audience, and they're like wanting to go back and see where it started. So yeah, I think it's perfect timing for Scream to be hot again.
yeah, I agree. But you did say earlier about like how like Scream might get a bit like overdone with like that like Kirby show as well. We haven't really heard much about that, but have you seen the original like Scream TV show? If so, what do you think about that?
I am a big fan. I
Yeah,
was a big I was a big I have some videos on my channel of, like, who the killer could have possibly been. That was really whenever I started making a little bit of Scream content before Scream 5 was starting to become in development. That's when I really went full on Scream. But I did some review episodes and stuff like that, and I saw that the numbers were good. And man, I was a big fan. I was a big fan of that Scream TV show,
yeah,
and I wish they would bring it back in some way,
yeah.
or something. Like, I feel like Paramount Plus could do it, but I feel like they're going to try to do something fresh. But it would be great if they did, like, a one-off. Give us, like,
I agree. Even just the film, I know that the original show ended technically on a movie, but that ends on a cliffhanger itself. Um, it's so stupid how it ended on a cliffhanger with that supposed to be the finale.
yeah,
But we need a continuation to the good seasons. We can just scrap season 3. We don't need to talk about it. That can burn. We can do what
it
the
had
Thanksgiving
the
3 did with all
mask
the
back.
copies of Thanksgiving 2. We can get a flamethrower and just
Yeah, make all the actors that were in that original first 2 seasons as older, and something's going on now. Like, oh, he's back, and here's this and that. Catch us up to speed. Um, I don't know if they would risk it with the mask. That's the thing.
yeah.
I don't think that with the way Scream is now, I don't think they're going to risk that mask situation. Um, but just like in that third season, they used the original costume and mask or whatever. they could do that, you know, and then they could actually tie the TV series in with the movies some way,
Yeah.
you know, along with that Kirby TV series, you know, like if they do decide to do that. Um, it just, I do want a conclusion to that. And even if they don't even give us like a full, you know, 6, 8, 10 episodes, whatever you want to give us, if they just gave us like a 2-hour movie,
Yeah.
like hour and a half, 2-hour movie, and you want to like just give us the conclusion of that, and then we move on from there, cool. Because honestly, wouldn't that be super awesome if they did do that? They started off with that, and at the end of that, the after credit scene or at the very end, you got Kirby coming in.
Yeah, that would be
And then
amazing. 'Cause
that's the
in
direction
the
they take it.
movie. Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, plus it would give more stuff to Paramount Plus, because I've not really used it, but I've like looked at it and it's like not really got anything that I'm interested in except like South Park and Scream.
Landman's good. I've been watching Landman.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, I'm not really into like oil field. I just like Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like horror, no, there's like not much there to chew on at all. So
This is why like I was going to get like Shudder, but Shudder in the UK is like apparently so bad. Like I was talking to my friend Colin from the Horrific Podcast, because I think he had Shudder and he was like, it's so shit, don't get it.
really,
Yeah.
I used to have it. I don't even have it anymore. Most of the stuff that's on there is stuff that I don't really care to watch or I own. So I don't know. I think with streaming services, it's like I feel like a lot of them are just lacking lately. Like
Yeah.
especially like Netflix. Like, what are you about to do when Stranger Things is gone? Because that's been like your bread and butter.
That's what I was thinking the other day, because like I saw the post, Stranger Things 5's Rats filming. They've almost done with Cobra Kai. All their shows which are popular are about to be finished.
Yeah.
Where are they gonna go? Because a lot of the stuff which they used to have, which made them popular, is now on other streaming services, and they no longer have the rights to it. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, I feel like HBO is getting a little better with the Penguin series because it's kind of got a
yeah,
Sopranos like vibe to it. So it's kind of scratching that itch there. But they've been like trying to find that next Game of Thrones, and they try to do it in Westworld, and it's just like. And then you got Amazon Prime. They the Lord of the Rings thing, or the Rings of Power, or whatever it was, is supposed to be their their thing, and it's just not living up. It's just like, and then like look at movie theaters. It's like, man, what is going on with cinema lately?
yeah. I mean, I haven't gone to like properly watch a movie in ages. The last one I went to, I didn't even have to pay because it was like a free college thing, and it was The Fall Guy.
Yeah.
All right, movie. I'll be fine. It was an all right movie.
Yeah.
But the amount of times they played that One Kiss song over and over made me want to lose my mind. But the cinema was completely empty besides us. There was no one there.
Yeah. Yeah. The Fall Guy. Like I watched that, and I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just background noise. It's one of those movies that I feel like would just be background noise. I don't really think that it's like. A lot of these movies are like I haven't even watched Red One yet. I know it's on Amazon Prime right now.
I haven't either. I heard it's terrible. I just can't. I'm not going to spend money on that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's on Amazon Prime now, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll catch it before Christmas and just see.
Yeah.
Maybe I need maybe alcohol is required, and I can have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can make a video of it. It's not really hard, but but
yeah. I mean, I feel like streaming services and stuff should have like a little label, and it should say, of course, like adults or like legal drinking age in the country, but it should say whether alcohol is required or not for viewing this movie. Because some movies are just so bad.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if like Amazon did that. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be funny. That would be really funny. Like I don't know, man. Like I feel like a lot of a lot of people are like, for one, and I say this, like we're oversaturated with content. I mean, it's too many shows, it's too many streaming services. Um, and I'm not mad about it or anything. It's just
Yeah.
me as an individual. I get to the point to where it's like, oh, it's so much of an investment. Like I don't even know where to begin, so I just don't do any of it. You know, like I
Yeah.
don't start a journey with any of it. Like I just tire myself out from scrolling. And
That's the thing. I barely use like streaming services anymore. The most I'll do is like I'll go downstairs, I'll turn on the TV, I'll see what's on Netflix. If it ain't anything good, I'll be like, oh, I'll watch this the next day or something. I'll never watch it
yeah,
because with me, I do physical media. I don't really do all the streaming services. I've just had another great idea for what they can do. They should recommend like a specific like drink for with the movie,
yeah,
like or like a specific like homemade like cocktail that goes with it. That would be funny.
yeah, yeah. That would be like their signature drink, kind of like how the
Yeah,
AMC theaters do with certain movies. They'll be like, "Oh, this is the Grinch drink," when
yeah,
some Grinch comes or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, it's just it's too much. I'm the kind of person. I'm more of a movie person. I want my conclusion in 2 hours.
yeah.
I mean, I do like shows, but it takes a lot for me to stick with a show. It just really does.
Agreed. What's up, Chris? How's it going?
So, Chris?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm like the kind of guy where like I feel like we need more like hour and 30 to 2 hour movie where they have a conclusion, or if it ends on a cliffhanger, they are already confirmed that they're making another one and they don't just end it. And these movies need to go to the cinemas. They don't just get shoved in the streaming service, and they need to bring people to a cinema. Like they need to be the kinds of movies where you'll go out of your way to watch it. Because I've seen so many people like just go like, well, this is a pirating movie or this is an Amazon movie, like a new trailer or something like that. And I'm just like, oh, all right. Like loads of people just wait until it comes to streaming. No, go to the theater. I know that it's kind of expensive and pricey now, but in in all fairness, the more you go, the prices will probably go down because more people will be going.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's and here's the thing is like I think we're just like in that weird phase, that transition to where like look at what happened with like Black Friday. Like I
Yeah,
saw so many videos of people saying like there's nobody in Best Buy like hardly doing
yeah,
anything. There's nobody in Target really doing anything. Same thing with the cinemas. It's like people have gotten accustomed to just staying home, ordering online, or streaming something. It's just and a lot of shows, a lot of this stuff that is on streaming services is just as good or even better than some of the movies we got to see. Like I just went and saw Werewolves with Frank
yeah.
Grillo. I heard so many good reviews about it. Excited. Have you seen it?
No, no, I haven't. I haven't heard good reviews about it. That's why I'm still like apprehensive about it. Plus, I don't even think it is in cinemas in the UK.
Okay.
Like, I went to look and it just wasn't.
I went and watched it. Definitely alcohol required.
Yeah,
I was like, I was like, okay, it's gonna have a dog soldiers vibe. It's gonna have practical effects. You got the same practical effects makeup artist that did the Alien movies or something, and Frank Grillo's really cool to see him in a movie. And just that is not a theater worthy movie at all. I
yeah,
was just kind of like, wow. Like there's so many other things that you could have done. Like I made a review about it, but the audio, there was no audio in it, and I was just yeah, I'm not gonna record that again. Like I just like that was, but I might do it again. It's been since it came out, since I made that review. So I might still do it, just to kind of like rip it apart a little bit. But then I watched that. I was let down, and then I went and saw Gladiator 2.
that was a letdown. I've got
That
to
was
say.
let down, and I'm like, that was at the moment I was like, all right, two movies I wanted to see this weekend, and I finally saw them, and I was let down with both. And they're completely different types of movies.
Yeah,
What the hell is going on? Like, 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 if your movie's not theater worthy, put it on streaming. Like,
Yeah, but like this is what I mean. I've seen so many good movies go to streaming. Like one earlier this year that went to Shadow the Shore Neighbors. That was really good.
mhm.
Then you got like, utter garbage going to like theaters and stuff. I don't understand it.
Yeah, yeah, I don't understand it either, man. I don't know, man. I really, I don't know, who the higher ups are. I mean, that are really like saying, oh, this goes here and that goes there. It's just really, I feel like like movies are almost like a bidding war a little bit.
Yeah,
And it's like some movies, like with the way there's no more blockbusters and there's no more red boxes or whatever, like there's no more that straight to DVD type of service. I feel like maybe they're like in a corner sometimes and they're just like, oh, nobody wants to buy my movie or buy this or distribute it.
yeah,
So I got to pay the extra marketing or whatever and put it in on some screens to get some money back. And
yeah,
maybe that's where a choice like that comes in. I don't know. But I just want to be a film director. Please let me just get in the director's
yeah,
chair. I want to put some of my stuff together because I'm movies just don't. Some movies to today just do not have that feel. They don't have that blockbuster feel anymore. They don't live up to
yeah.
it.
I agree. Like, I just like, some movies just don't feel like that anymore. I feel like that's why we need to get like not even just like um I feel like we need to get one more like horror movies out just because even though loads do come out, I don't see like really higher budget ones that go to theaters. And the other thing that we need to do, we really need to bring back stuff like Blockbuster, etc. Because streaming, I can already tell because they never release the numbers that they make money off of streaming, which means loads of things on streaming will probably fail miserably.
Hmm.
Like you can probably earn loads if you just brought back like physical media rental and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. I mean, but like most stores and everything, they're just like getting rid of physical media as a whole, and that sucks too because I've always collected physical media. That's what I started my channel with,
Yeah,
and it's just a shame, man. I think it will have a resurgence one day, kind of like vinyls.
yeah,
I think that one day it's going to get to the point to where it's like, all right, people want to start collecting or having that experience again. I don't know. Like I even thought about, should they just combine a blockbuster with a movie theater so you get like the best of both worlds in the same area? You
that
know,
would be great.
like if they have like in the lobby area, they just have aisles of like movies and stuff like that, and it's kind of like, oh, you can go watch one of the new movies, and then when you get out, you can rent a movie that's out, or you're kind of like in the one-stop shop. So
Yeah,
I don't know, something. I think people are striving for experiences, and I think a lot of places are just not delivering on that. So we stay home, or it's a newer audience now that just don't remember the feeling of all that, like the nostalgia of it, you know. But I feel like we need something fresh when it comes to cinema and when it comes to movies and all that kind of stuff. We can't keep doing the same old because nobody's showing up for that. It's just
yeah, I agree, but I do feel even though it is in a franchise, I feel Scream 7 will be like one of those movies where it will be really good and it will get people
it's
to
going to be an
cinemas to
event.
watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an event. And my thing is, I just hope it delivers. I hope it
Yeah,
delivers. It's not going to feel lacking. Um, and that's one thing, like look at the last few Halloween movies. They were same day streaming, theater and
yeah,
on Peacock. Scream 5 and 6 didn't do that. Scream 7's not going to do that. Um, and with Scary Movie coming out right next to it, I think Scream's about to be on a. I think that we thought that Scream 6, and it was for that moment on that peak. Like it was like
Yeah.
very highly successful that it's ever been in a long time. But I think what we're about to enter is like the Scream era for real. Like I think they're about to really double down now with just everything that is in the works, you know. I would like to even see like a little cameo of like Nev Campbell in the Scary Movie, like walking on and being like, "Oh,
yeah, yeah."
They should do that, like you know how in the first Scary Movie they did what's his name, Dawson's Creek, James Vanderbeek,
Yeah.
and he said, "Oh, wrong set," and he kind of like walked off from the window.
Yeah.
Do something like that with Nev Campbell, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be awesome.
Agreed. So I have a question for you. What was your thoughts on the meme one? Well, you know, I did watch it last night. As I watched Body, it was kind of bad. David Howard Thornton was the best part, but they killed off the most likable character in the movie in like the first 15 minutes, and that was the dad, and I was so annoyed. And then like the cop is the most annoying guy ever, and his whole character is just I am Jewish. And they kept making those jokes throughout the movie, and I'm like, oh, it's one of these.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to see it. The artwork on the front looks really good. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm like, oh, and the premise sounds great, but I've heard the execution of the whole movie is really hard to get through. You know, so and I was gonna watch that because I watched that Bloody Christmas or something like that last year. Really hard to get through, and a lot of people liked it, and I couldn't do it. Like alcohol definitely required.
See, I was actually told by Davey that was a fun movie, and I was gonna watch that soon.
Okay. I don't know. Good luck. I hope you like it. I just remember being like, it's a great premise, great ideas, but the execution just wasn't. And the audio or the sound, like I felt like it was just off. Like sometimes, like when I remember, like the music was, or the background music was like higher than what their voice was, and I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? What are they saying right now?
That was kind of the thing in the meme one, but instead it was the opposite. They had like this like Christmas background track the whole movie, even in like serious scenes, and I'm like, why is this music still playing? I can still hear the music.
Yeah, just cut it out. Like, but yeah, maybe I need to rewatch it again, man. Like, I don't know. I do need to see the mean one. I should try to like do some more Christmas horror around this season. Like I said, I'm just getting back into really making regular content again, and man, I missed it, man. I forget how much I love making. I love talking about horror movies, and I love making content, hanging out with y'all, and doing streams and stuff. And so yeah. And Chris, I see. Yes, I just put out a video about Scream 8 being in development. That is a big rumor right now. It's not officially confirmed, but that is what some inside sources are talking about. So, yeah, I'm all about it. I don't want it to stop at 7. I don't think it should. I think
it should keep going till like they eventually end up in space. That's where I feel a franchise should
I don't
end.
want it to go in space. Dude, they could do like a whole what's that game? Among Us. They could take Among Us.
Oh, please.
With Ghostface. Actually, I think they do have a skin of like a Ghostface Among Us.
Yeah, they do. I think.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I want to see a Scream game with this structure of a game, you know, like but not in space. Like I want it to be like in a mansion, like Milton's mansion or Stu's house, you know, or like have a big old map, and you don't know who the killer is. But but that's the whole fun of the whole game. Is like it's like Clue. You got to figure out who is killing, and whoever, like one person's the killer, or maybe 2 people are the killers, and the rest are all victims. But you know, there's points you can get on both sides, as a killer or as a victim, and you just try not to get caught if you are the killer.
Yeah,
try not to get
that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's that's another thing, man. We're getting a lot of like horror games, which I love, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, Denisha, what's up, D? Miss you
What's
too.
up? Welcome.
It's awesome. Missed you too,
Yeah,
Jamie.
Yeah, I agree. A Scream game would be loads of fun, but I feel maybe that is where it kind of gets a bit overkill if they make like Scream into every form of medium. But maybe after they've finished the movies for a while, they then make a game, just something to like keep the fans going.
Yeah, I think it should be just something small, like an online game, kind of like Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like asymmetric a little bit. But I think like the gameplay should be played as something like the Hitman games, if you ever played any of those. Like it's like the whole map. It's like a big map of just like there's so many different hallways and closets and secret passages in like a big mansion area, and he can just sneak around in and out of stuff. I feel like they should do something like that with Ghostface, you know. And you just have characters running around trying to figure out clues, and like maybe they could do like horror movie trivia in the game that you got to like guess it in a certain amount of time, or you get killed, or you get like a chase. The killer comes after you. You know.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
I'd say they need to get Kevin Williamson to help write the game though, because you need a good story with Scream.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we're in good hands as far as like story and direction and all that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to like not be. I'm trying to like. What am I trying to say? Like I'm not. I'm trying to like just be.
Positive.
I'm trying to be positive about optimistic about it. But I'm trying to like. As far as I know how like Kevin Williamson doesn't like gore and too much blood, I think that we're going to get more of a tone like Scream 3. Remember Scream 3 just didn't have a whole lot of blood.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of stabs, but you didn't see the stab, you know, like Sarah Darling and stuff like that. Like you just kind of get a kill kind of like that. A stab in the back. Stuff like that. It's going to be Scooby-Doo-esque.
I mean, I'd be fine. I'd be fine with imagine Scooby-Doo and Scream crossover. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah. Oh yeah, they could do Chris. They do have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Yeah, I have it on Xbox. I think. Yeah, it's on PS5, Xbox, maybe PC too.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun game.
It is a fun game. I like those kinds of games where it's just more like survival based than anything.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was just Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface as the killer, and not all the families. I feel like it's too many killers in the mix, you know? Kind of loses a little bit of suspense, in my opinion, but still good.
Yeah, but well, thanks for coming on and talking about Scream. This has been a great time.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and everyone, make sure to go check out Destin's channel if you haven't already. It is linked in the description of the stream. So go check him out. He's putting out some great videos recently. So yeah, thanks for watching the stream. Once again, thanks for coming on, and until next time, bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.